Now that I'm on Noom, there are so many leftovers. Try Noom today. Check out our affiliate link.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs Reviews, and I am here to review the new movie, Don't Worry, Darling, brought to us from the director Olivia Wilde, who brought us Booksmart, starring Florence Pugh, Chris Pine. Olivia Wilde's also in it, Nick Kroll, and of course, Harry Styles. I don't know if this is his debut as an actor, but he definitely goes for it in this one. So we're going to get into a little bit. There's going to be some spoilers to this. I definitely want to get to your comments, but we're going to get to those towards the end. So if you have any questions or you've seen it and you have some comments and stuff, please throw them out there. So the movie is about a couple that lives in this community. It's like a work community in the 60s. Florence Pugh and Harry Styles play the main couple, which is just really well done. They play a very good couple against each other. They're Alice and Jack. And the thing is with them, they have no kids. They're kind of living their fast life, having and enjoying it in this community. And it's a very beautiful, picturesque suburban community. All the men go off to work every day. All the women are homemakers for the most part, and they kind of do their thing there. It's a very 60s lifestyle for sure. And as things go on, Alice starts to see things, and horrific things start to happen to her. And this whole mystery of the town sort of starts unraveling. And she's trying to keep pulling at that thread to figure out what is going on. And everybody is trying to stop her. It's definitely interesting. For me, watching this movie, going in to see it, I mean, amid all the controversy that's been going on with it, I was still very excited. It looks like a beautiful movie. All the actors in it I really like. I'm a big Chris Pine fan. He's my favorite of all the Chris's. And I really like Florence Pugh. I think she's fantastic. And I liked Booksmart, so I was anxious to see what Olivia Wilde was going to do next. Her writer on Booksmart is back again for this one, and it was Katie Silberman came back, and she wrote this one as well. Overall, the movie, first off, Matthew Libatique, who is the cinematographer on this, if this isn't nominated for Cinematography Academy Award, I will be upset because it is beautiful. It is gorgeous, and I had talked about the controversy before, and then we can touch down on things, but I don't want to get into all that because that's not what I'm doing for this review. But of course, you got to touch down a little bit. You got to, it's there, it exists. So it's going to be mentioned a little bit. But overall, I thought it was a really well done job. Now, this is going to be a spoiler review. So tune out if you don't want any spoilers. I'm not going to get too in depth, and I don't want to give away too much. But go watch the movie, come back, check out the review, add some comments, hit us up in the Discord. Let's talk about it a little bit. So the movie, for me, from beginning to end, was really well done, well acted, a great cinematography. The direction was really good. I love the set dressing of this. The costuming, it just was really well done for a movie that is more on the independent side than big blockbuster. It was really well done. Filmmaking was perfect on this. Olivia Wilde hired some of the best people, or a production company rather, hired some of the best people to do this, and they knocked it out of the park. My biggest issue, I think, with this movie is the third act. You get your reveal of what's actually going on, which ultimately, and again, spoiler territory, is all of the women and men. This is like a virtual reality. And I'm not doing it justice with how the science fiction and horror aspects of it are handled, because they're handled really well. And when I say virtual reality, I'm sure you're thinking Oculus Rift on all these people's heads and stuff like that. It's not. It's all of these men who in real life maybe lost their women or been on tough times, things like that, and they want them back and they want to live a perfect life with them. So they take them prisoner and force this thing onto them. So they have to watch it. Now, not all of the women, because it is proven, especially with Olivia Wilde's character, some choose to be there. It's the way they want it, and you find out that it's Chris Pine's character Frank and another character in the movie who is kind of like their brainchild in this. You might recognize him, Timothy Simmons. He's been in tons of stuff. He's got a very recognizable face. He plays like a doctor in it, and they're like partners in this, and they've created this community specifically for this, to test this out and see what it would be like. And I got to tell you, it's pretty interesting how they kind of did everything. And for me, I really just liked. So I really just liked how they made the Stepford Wives sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of touches on this that just was really well done, that you've seen in other movies like Truman Show, Stepford Wives, and other movies like that it just I thought was handled better than those movies, in my opinion. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It's getting panned. It is getting panned by critics. Like, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, their score for this movie for the critics is 38%. And that's, out of like 200 reviews or something, but out of like almost 200 reviews, it's got an 86% on audience score. I get that. This is going to be more of an audience movie. I kind of wish the controversy didn't happen, because it's probably going to stop a lot of people from seeing it. And that bugs me a little bit. I wish that wasn't the case, because this is a good movie, and I'd hate to see controversy take people away from seeing it. It's definitely not worth, it's definitely worth going to see in theaters, I think, personally, because of the scope. Everything is gorgeous. Now let's get into the third act, because that third act again was where I thought it kind of faltered a little bit. So they do the reveal of like what's going on. My biggest thing is, like, I'm just not a huge fan of that. Like the Stepford Wives and the other and movies like that. Like, it's just never been like one that I've been a huge fan of. So with this, I'm like, okay, this has a lot of elements to it that are kind of crazy. And then when it became that, I was just like, all right, it's not bad. It doesn't make it bad. A lot of people do like that. It just isn't for me, which I think is fine. And actually, out of all of them, I like this one the most. It's a lot of people are complaining. A lot of critics are complaining right now that it draws from so much. A lot of it looks familiar and stuff like that. I don't understand that, because we get remakes, and a lot of these movies keep getting remakes, and these remakes are dog shit. Excuse my French, but they really are. And then you get something that's sort of original and well acted and well put together and a good looking movie, and you're complaining about it. So now, to talk about, I said I was going to touch down on the controversy a little bit, and one of those things is the whole Shia LaBeouf, Harry Styles thing, where Harry Styles replaced Shia LaBeouf. I don't care about all that. Whatever that goes on, let them figure that out. My point with that is, watching this movie and the message of the movie, the tone of the movie, overall, what it was like, I think Harry Styles fit perfectly, because that's like everybody's dream guy. I was like all these women's dream guy right now, and has been for a while. Everybody, all these women are flocking to him, and that's why he's such a huge pop star. And that worked. He was supposed to be the dream guy. Shia LaBeouf is a good actor, don't get me wrong, but he's not a dream guy. I don't think he's ever been a dream guy sort of scenario. He's more like an everyday man. His fit and his look and things like that. So I think Harry Styles was a really good choice. And if that was an accident, and Shia leaving the production, it's because he didn't fit. And I agree. So I really like that. Like, you want that picturesque, and they did that with him. that third act has some thrilling moments. There's a really cool car chase scene with Florence Pugh with all of like the other guys, men chasing her in the cars, and it makes a lot of sense when you go to see it. And I don't want to give too much away, but she has to get to a certain destination, and they're all chasing her down in the desert, and it's wonderfully shot. It's a wonderful car chase. I really enjoyed it. And it's so thrilling, and it takes its time, and you get there and it becomes this thing. But it just, where it falls apart for me was like, you spent so much time on her kind of figuring everything out throughout this whole mystery, and then like you show us and when she regains a memory, and then, okay, now we know what's going on, but there's so many more questions that are now left unresolved, and you focus on her and her journey to get out. You don't know any more about Chris Pine. You don't know any more about any of the other characters, like Gemma Chan in the movie, who plays Chris Pine, Frank's wife, Shelley. Like, she kills Frank in the movie, and she goes, you mess this up. You F this up, and now it's my turn. What does that mean? I mean, I want more. Like, at least give me a little bit more to this. Like, is she taking over? What is this? And then you kind of get an idea of like, she gets out. Florence Pugh gets out of this, VR sort of situation. But then there's a whole other mess of situation that she's in. It's kind of a mess in the third act, that where they focused on other things, shots. They focused on more pushing the message of the movie, which is fine, and I agreed with the message, and I liked the tone of it and everything. But you focused on that, pushing more of the message than you did resolving certain things, and that kind of bugged me. So by no means is it the perfect movie. And actually, my rating for this movie is 4 red airplanes out of 5. And you'll understand it once you go see the movie, the red airplanes reference. But 4 out of 5, because from a filmmaking standpoint, it's excellent. It's fantastic. From a writing standpoint, you see this all too much. But, like the third act sort of falls apart, but it's still a good movie. And there's still some thrilling sequences. And it's really well done. But I wish that they had tied things up, resolved things the way you should in movies like this. So ultimately, it took a point away from that, but the acting is just fantastic. Everybody did a great job. The music, the sound was beautiful. Not just the music, but like the actual sound, like the sound quality of what they're using, and how they use their tones and stuff like that. It's just wonderful. The editing is terrific. It's a great movie. It just with the story, it just didn't hit. But it is by no means deserving of like a 38%. Like, this is a movie that, critics, which, looking through and, not trying to be an apologist or anything like that, because that's not what this is. I'm talking about a movie. It's mostly men rating it that way, because as I'm reading through, mostly a lot of male critics are tearing this apart because they didn't like the message, and they're mentioning that in their critiques, and that's just BS. I didn't care. The message didn't bother me at all, and the story and the mystery of it and everything was well done. And I kind of dug, even though I don't like that aspect of things. Like, I didn't, there's a lot of them. Like the VR thing and having those VR realities. I kind of dug it in Ready Player One. I like that movie, but I like it when it's so embellished like that. This was a little bit more subdued, so I did kind of dig it, though. It wasn't that bad for me, as somebody who's not a huge fan of it. But overall, I do say go out and see this movie. I would say definitely go see it in theaters. It's not drag out horror. There's a lot of very good horror elements to it. A lot of tropes, not cliches, tropes that are added to this that make sense when you get to that end and you get that reveal of what's actually going on. And you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. I dug that. So yeah, not a lot of plot holes. There's some, not a lot of plot holes though. It's the third act that really kind of takes it out, where it's like, yeah, we should touch down on this or this a little bit more. But yeah, I did dig it. Let's get to the comments, see what everybody's saying. Chicken's here. What's going on? Ready for this one? Go check it out, man. Go see it in theaters because the scope is just beautiful and it's worth it. Go see it in a good theater with good sound quality and good picture. I'm excited to see it. Hope you enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, in fact. Paul, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. Chris, let's get it. Yeah, man. Absolutely. It's going to be great. You go check it out. Let me know what you think. Again, not a drag out horror. I would say a horror in the way that like A Stepford Wives was a horror, things like that. Truman Show could in some ways be considered a horror. There's some horror elements to that too, but that was a lot more lighter than this. Agree with Chicken. I picked up on that when the trailer showed up, her suffocating herself with that's a great scene. That's a great scene. So go and you feel it. You feel a lot of like when she starts getting enclosed in things, and like when the glass and the wall pin her down, you feel it. Like there's a lot of thrilling moments. The car chase scene, like I sat up and I was like, is she gonna make, like, what are we doing here? Like, is she gonna make it? Like, yeah, it hit me. Like they really filmed the thriller aspects of this and those tropes perfectly. And it's added by the fact that it's so well acted. Florence Pugh carries it so well. She is fantastic. Now, Harry Styles, he's not a great actor. Let's be real. I mean, he's great at a lot of things. So take that, but like he's not a great actor, but he plays his part well. He's supposed to be that dream guy. He's supposed to be the dashing, beautiful looking man that, all women are flocking to and want, the perfect everyday man. And I liked the that parallel with Chris Pine, who you can tell was that, but he's older now. And so like Jack is going to be the next one up. Yeah, it's played out really well. And then when you get into reality and what that is, and I told you the VR thing, but I didn't give you much. There's more to it. And that's why I want to leave it open for you guys to check out. But when you get into it and you see him in reality, it's really well done. Marvel Spaceman, what's going on, man? Hey, what's up? I'm seeing Don't Worry, Darling in an hour, and the only thing I've seen in this movie was the scene where he says, I gave you all of this, Alice. Skipped all trailers to get the full. Watch it, because it goes really well from there, too. And again, like there's so much. The third act, I don't even want to say falls apart. It just doesn't close up enough. So that's where, for me, now as a fan of film, a big fan of watching cinematography and enjoying sound design and enjoying art direction and enjoying costuming, I love those things. I was a filmmaker, so when I step onto a set, I appreciate when I look around. I'm like, this is what it's going to look like on camera. It's going to be beautiful. And again, I don't care if Olivia Wilde in real life, and I'm not saying she is. I don't care if in real life she's a monster. She made a great movie. And Booksmart was great too. So she made a great movie here that stands up. And to kind of tear it down or say you don't like it because maybe the writing of the script in the third act, again, I wouldn't say falls apart. I would just say left some things that needed to be resolved. I've seen a lot of movies that people are like, this is epic, this is great, from the 80s, from the 90s, from 2000, all over, where people are like, this is the greatest movie. And I'm like, yeah, but from a writing standpoint, it sucks. It's just fun because you remember the nostalgia of it. This is a good, well put together movie, and it should be respected. I want to see this night. Chris, you should. And again, if you want to appreciate the full scope, and then you watch this on 4K, I might buy this on Blu-ray and 4K because it's worth it with the look. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. 4 out of 5 red airplanes for Don't Worry, Darling. Go check it out. I want to thank you all for joining in, commenting along with me. A few things just to go over really quick. Go check out our new episode this week of the Scene Snobs Podcast. We had a lot of fun with it, Casey and I. We'd love for you to check it out. We have some other reviews. I Confess Fletch is out. Pinocchio. We have our new show, Does It Suck, which is out now on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. This Sunday, number 75 through 50 of my Halloween horror movie countdown is going on. It's actually not part one, it's part two. Part one is up there. It's 95 through 75. On October 7th and every Friday after that, we're going to have the Scene Snobs Morning Drive live show. It's going to be our live 3-hour show. Make sure to check that out. I want to say a special thanks to all of our patrons who help support and keep the lights on. A lot of you are watching now, and we appreciate you. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S., Chris H., Dan, John B., Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, John W. If you guys want to join up, go check out patreon.com, the Scene Snobs, and we have 3 tiers available. Make sure to join up on our Snobs Nation Discord, where we have great conversations, watch parties, and more. We're enjoying tons. We talk about everything geek and everything that we love. We'll probably be talking about Don't Worry, Darling on there. It was a lot of fun. Make sure to give this video a like. We really appreciate it. It helps us go a long way in the algorithm. If you do that, tell your friends about it. Come check it out. And make sure to check out the channel. We have great shows like Geek Fest Live, Real Combat, which is coming back with season 2 in October. Plot Roast, which is our Patreon movie recommendation show where patrons give us a movie to watch and we just go after it. Scene Snobs Reviews, which you're watching now. We have, again, new shows coming and more in October, so check it out. All right. We also have merch available. If you're interested, wrap yourself up in something comfortable that has the Scene Snobs written all over it. We have some of our famous lines. We have some of our logo, and we have new stuff coming very soon. Make sure to follow us on all social media. We're all over the place. We do something different on everything, so it's always a good time. We're at the Scene Snobs pretty much everywhere except for TikTok because it won't let me change it. So go check it out. I want to say thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate you guys jumping in and being a part of this. We got some more. We got porn comments. Thank you. But I want to appreciate you guys jumping in and having a good time with me today and enjoying this. And you guys are all amazing. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.